There's a part of me that hopes that whenever Neve Campbell is contacted to do another Scream movie, they hit her up saying,
Hello?
Hello, Sidney. Remember me?
What do you want?
I want you. It's showtime.
if you don't do that, you're doing Hollywood wrong. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. We have some updates here on Scream 5. Really awesome news. Finally, Neve Campbell, who plays the titular character Sidney in the Scream franchise, opens up about the possibility of her being in Scream 5, making us fans really optimistic for the future of this horror franchise. I'll be breaking down all the details involved with that, so I need you guys down below to tell me, how do you feel about the old cast being approached to be part of this movie? Which of the three are you think getting a knife in the back? It's gonna happen. But leave a like down below in hopes that it's not Sidney Prescott getting that knife. You gonna live, queen. Alright, so this news actually comes to us from a YouTube channel who is doing an interview with Neve Campbell. I really want to thank fan of the channel, Critical Overload, who brought this to my attention and sent it into my DMs. He also seems to be a bit of a horror fan doing news updates on things, so I appreciate you sharing the news. But at the 10-minute mark of this interview with Jack Hamilton, he decides to ask her about Scream 5, and this is exactly what she said about her involvement. They've come to me and we're having conversations. It's a little hard at the moment because of COVID to know when that'll happen, and hopefully we can see eye to eye on the elements that have to come into place for it to happen. Continuing on, I originally had been really apprehensive about doing another Scream without Wes Craven. He was such a genius and he is the reason they are what they are, but the directors have come to me with such a great appreciation for Wes's work, and they really want to honor it, and that meant a lot to me. Hopefully we'll be able to do it. I freaking love these directors who are involved with the new Scream movie. Because yes, if you haven't heard, I do have a playlist on my channel concerning Scream 5, but just to summarize that up for you, this is considered a reboot. It's not technically Scream 5, even though we have the original cast possibly returning. This is being done by Spyglass Entertainment, who was able to buy out the franchise with the whole Harvey Weinstein incident. They decided to get the directors from the movie Ready or Not, which if you have not seen that movie, watch it, and you know these guys will be perfect to handle a Scream movie. And the only other thing that we know about this film is the short plot synopsis that is very generic, saying a new installment of the Scream horror franchise will follow a woman returning to her hometown to try and find out who's been committing a series of vicious crimes. So let's break this down further and what this means, knowing now that the original three could be involved to continue on this reboot. One, this lets us know this is set in the same universe as the previous Scream movies. So Scream 1 through 4 will remain canon. If you enjoyed those movies, if you like them, then be happy because they're not changing or completely ignoring with what happened with Sidney Prescott. And having Sidney come back also lets me know that they plan to possibly pass the torch over to a new audience. Just because they're tapping into the old cast members to be involved does not mean they will be the main characters. If they were, I would think that the plot synopsis would be a little more clear on that in stating who this girl is who comes back to her hometown after a series of vicious crimes. It's not going to be Sidney. You have to remember the main purpose for these films is to bring in a new generation while also respecting the past one so that they can come together in harmony and love whatever Ghostface brings to the big screen. So you can really imagine Dewey, Gale, and Sidney to be sort of Force Awakens characters where they will be prominent. They'll probably throw out a few tips, maybe even some rules. You gotta have rules when you're watching Scream to help this new generation of people being attacked by someone wearing the Ghostface mask. But we really can't jump on the gun that fast because Neve Campbell was pretty clear here that she has a couple of terms or she has some rules in place where she wants to be able to see eye and eye with these new directors, and this is the part that scares me about whether they'll be coming back. Because obviously she wants to pay as much respect to what Wes Craven did being the director of all the 4 past Scream movies. She doesn't want to taint his legacy or ruin the characters, and I have to think to myself, a couple of the rules is you can't have Sidney be the killer, you can't have Sidney die off, and I wouldn't be surprised also if she is pushing to be the main character or at least very front and center with the new main character. If these new directors are planning to do something drastic with their characters, like slash them off screen or really just change up their personas, I can see them not wanting to return. Luckily though, she threw in that line that these directors want to respect everything Wes Craven has done and are seeming to be very open to keeping that lore alive of the past Scream movies. movies. If this whole situation with the Rona wasn't going on right now, we would have definitely have already gotten a cast of who would be involved in this movie, because it looks like they were getting ready to start the cameras rolling this summer. In my mind, the legacy characters have made it so far into the franchise. I will be a little disappointed if any of those three just come out to be used as a prop to be slashed off screen. But then it also leaves you to wonder, if they make it to the end of this Scream movie, then it also leaves the door open for them to return for the next one and the next one. And can you really just have them be cameo, small supporting roles all this way through? Either way, it's fantastic news that these guys are seeming to be involved. The last we saw Sidney, she was a successful book writer. With the way Scream 4 ended, she probably has another successful book to write about. Gale and Dewey seem to be on the rocks. I wouldn't be surprised if they're divorced now, or maybe they have a kid or two that'll be involved in this new movie. Just so much fascinating stuff that could be going down. I really want to hear your guys' predictions. But how do you feel about the old cast being approached to come to Scream 5? Do you think it'll happen, or do you think it'll fall out because they won't be the main lead characters? Anything and everything, you guys go ahead and leave your thoughts down below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.